The book of Acts, which we hear all during the Easter season, teaches us not only about the church, but how to be church. We see that very clearly in the readings we had this past week, especially Acts 4, where we have examples all throughout Acts of what to do and what not to do. If you go to Acts 4, we hear a repeat of what we heard in Acts 2, that the community was of one heart and one mind, and they had all things in common. Then we have an example of Barnabas, who goes and sells a piece of land that he has and gives all the proceeds over to the apostles. And then we hear about this couple who does the opposite, who does the wrong thing, Ananias and Saphira. And the plan of this couple is, well, let's sell what we have. Let's sell this piece of land, but we're going to keep a little bit for ourselves. We're not going to be totally honest or transparent with the apostles or the church. So they have this plan. They go sell the piece of land. They keep a little back from themselves. Ananias goes to Peter and says, hey, we sold this plot of land, and we're going to give you the proceeds. And he says, is this all you have? And he says, yeah, sure it is, yeah. In that moment, Ananias is struck dead. But Peter says, by your lie, you have given your life. A couple hours later, Saphira comes along, and she goes, hey, have you seen my husband? Paraphrasing here, obviously. And they said, she said, okay, we sold this plot of land, and we want to give the proceeds to you. And Peter says again, is this everything? And she says, yep. And immediately she's struck dead. Now, what are you supposed to take away from this story? Well, this story invites us to think about, are there areas of hypocrisy in our Christian living? As we are disciples of Jesus, do we give everything over to Jesus? Or do we have reservations? Do we hold the pieces back for ourselves? Now, I love that this image of Ananias and Saphira is put in a very prominent place in our church. If you go to the Basilica of St. Peter's in Rome, this giant image of Ananias and Saphira, in this image called the altar of the lie, is right across from where all of the priests and bishops, when they go to celebrate Mass in St. Peter's, as they walk out of the sacristy, it's right there in front of them. And the idea is, as they are going to celebrate Mass, as they're going to unite their lives with Christ in the Eucharist, they have to ask themselves, am I holding something back for myself? Are there areas of hypocrisy in my life where I'm lying to myself or to the church? Are there areas of hypocrisy that I need to put on the altar and allow Christ to transform them? Parts of me that need to be crucified with Jesus. So too, it's a reminder for all of us as Catholics, are there places of your life where you need greater consistency? And to bring that and to place it on the altar, that Christ could crucify it and raise you to new life.